Looks terrible.
Yeah,
Okay.
You look like you're ill.
Okay. Do I look ill?
I don't mean ill.
Look
I
sick.
don't mean ill in the face. I just mean like, you think of like laying or lounging around in a robe.
Yeah. I can't get dressed up when it's like 10 o'clock East Coast and I just put a baby to bed. I'm sorry, guys. Tonight we're going to be talking on the Daily Dime. We do a daily talk show every day from our kitchen table called the Daily Dime, and we're going to help our dining room table, and we're going to talk about how you can get debt-free. We have a website called debtfreespending.com. If you haven't been there, please take us a couple seconds to go over and tap some hearts to let us know we do a lot of hard work to help other people become debt-free. We are debt-free other than our mortgage. We're working on paying that off currently, but other than that, we have no debt. So tonight's topic is tracking your expenses. If you guys want to be debt-free, we're looking for people that want to be debt-free. If that's you, then stick around, tap some hearts, and listen to what we have to say. So anyways, just keep the hearts coming. So basically, we're going to be talking tonight about tracking your expenses. We've been talking for the last 2 weeks about budgeting. And so one of the ways that you can get a hold of your budget is to figure out where your money is going. And so tracking your expenses means writing down everything that you spend. Yeah. And we're going to kind of combine that tonight with a spending freeze. I want people to see me. They're only getting like half my face. Anyways, there. That's better. No, stop it. Anyways, so we're going to... You're such a brat.
I know.
Anyway, so tracking your expenses and categorizing them. Yeah. So you can do this formally. You can Google, tracking expenses sheet or whatever. But I just recommend getting just a 17-cent one subject notebook, spiral bound notebook at Walmart, and taking a month and tracking everything that you spend. And if you have a checkbook ledger, you can kind of do that, but you can't really do it in categories that way. Maybe you already have a budget online.
And trying to read that little ledger is really difficult. So if you put it out in a notebook, it just makes more sense. You can see it. It's bigger. It's legible.
Yeah, but some people do track all their expenses online. And so if you do track all your expenses online, then maybe you already have something set up for that. But definitely looking to see where your money is going. Obviously you'd want to track your expenses really for like 6 months and decide what you want to do, or where the majority of your money is going. Is it going towards gifts? Is it going towards eating out? That's the biggest change that we made this month. Are we boring you?
No.
You yawned all night last night. Stay awake. Anyways, so yeah, you can't fall asleep in the middle of a periscope.
Oh, well, you're not supposed to?
No. Anyways, so the biggest thing that we want you to know is, obviously you want to be tracking your expenses for, like I said, 6 months, but we have stopped eating out in the last month. We've really cracked down to the point that we were packing peanut butter and jellies for some getaways and things like that. And so if you're a PB&J person, show some love and tap some hearts. Maybe you're a bologna person. But we've been doing some really, really inexpensive lunches, really trying to bring down the food budget and the eating out budget. So once you do all those, once we realized that a lot of our budget and money that we were spending was on eating out, especially this summer, because we were like, if you didn't watch our Periscope or on a side hustle, then you need to go to our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/debt-free spending, and take a look at all of our daily dimes that are on YouTube. And we've been talking about side hustles. So the majority of the summer, we spent our entire summer learning how to side hustle with our new photography business. That's another way that we're making money on the side to help pay off our debt. And so we put a lot of time into going on photo shoots in the evening and doing all those, meeting with people and talking to them about their photos, editing photos. So unfortunately, it meant that we didn't have as much time to meal plan. Mm-hmm. So now that we're back in school, photography business.
Sorry, guys.
You need to just leave the Periscope altogether.
No, I can't.
You are not Periscope worthy if you're gonna go on the whole time. Anyways, hang your head, you poor Periscoper.
She talks to me.
Oh, anyways, so basically what we want you to know is you definitely want to... You made me lose my train of thought. What was I saying?
About eating out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, but anyways,
about the summer.
Yeah, so the summer we weren't able to meal plan as much, but now that school's back in and the business is off the ground, we've been doing a lot more meal planning. If you go to debtfreespending.com and scroll down the left-hand side, or the right-hand side, you will see a little... thing like this, about this square this big that says family binder. Click on the family binder and we have some meal planning tools for you there, some free printables. Everything we're talking to you about in here is always free. Any printables we have on the website is free. Anything we talk about, we're not going to be talking about anything that you have to pay for. Most of the time, if we do, we'll put a disclaimer. So anyways, so tracking your expenses. The other thing that you're going to want to do to, track your expenses besides writing them down and categorizing them is taking a look at, which ones are really out of budget and deciding what can you give up. Yeah. So if you guys are, like I said, if you're in the mode to be debt-free, you want to be debt-free, this is one of the best ways to do it, is to see where your money is being spent. And sometimes, even when you're trying to be debt-free, you're going to look back over your expenses and you're going to say, hey, I spent a lot of money on that, but it was really worth it. Yeah. So maybe you're tracking expenses and you see that you're above budget in an area, but it's an area that's really, really worth it. And so right now we're doing some things with nutrition, some things with getting healthy that we've gone definitely over budget in the last 2 months, but we really, really feel that it was worth it to kind of get ourselves back on track with our eating and our nutrition.
And when you're buying fresh food, it's so much more expensive, but it's so much better.
Yeah, and it is. And that's some way that we increased our budget, was buying more organic and more healthy foods and fruits and vegetables and things like that. But we also are doing some things, like I said, with a local gym, just kind of temporarily to really get us back on track and have some accountability, kind of fast here. So that's been really good for us. So, obviously part of being debt free is part of, just being healthy all around. And so I love that. Try growing some food. Yes. We just so you know, my father-in-law has a 50-foot garden that we help with, and we do a lot of our own fresh foods that way. But we live in Pennsylvania, and our growing season is really short here. It's really short. So we do can what we can, whatever,
You want to tell them about the garden that I built?
That was really a pun. That didn't sound good. We can what we can. But anyways.
Oh, that was cute.
Yeah,
I missed it.
Hubby also did a raised bed garden this past summer, and he actually did a lot of more it
was my very first time doing a raised bed.
That was
garden.
in our garden, not my father.
Yeah, we had in our backyard. I had a raised bed garden out of recycled material that I had,
like spices and some things. Sorry, go ahead.
Can you let me?
I'll stop interrupting.
Yeah, you notice.
I drink my tea.
I was gonna say, you notice she does most of the talking in these videos.
Well, you got to tell me to shut up.
Well, I wouldn't say that. That's rude.
Oh, okay. Well, you got to be rude. Sometimes.
I'll just, roll my eyes and sigh.
Well, they all know, anyways.
What?
That I'm probably talking too much.
Well, yeah, they know. They watch the videos. Anyhow, so I had my first crack at a garden this year. And you can check out our Instagram page. What is it? Debt Free Spending.
Yeah.
And you can see the pictures of the garden, or the raised bed garden I did, and not just raised bed as in a few inches off the ground. I had this thing up to waist level, and I'm 6'3" tall, and this thing is up to my waist. And
everything's made for tall people around our house.
Well, it's perfect because there's no bending, there's no nothing. So I did some lettuce and some peas.
But you can't plant as much, though.
I know, it's small, but it's a start.
Yeah, and I think it's better. I think it would be a better raised bed for spices, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Because I think, you can't get very much crop in there.
I know.
Okay, well, anyways, I'm just saying for next season. Sorry.
You know what?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be negative.
Jeez.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. Tell them that I do encourage you sometimes.
She does sometimes.
We've been married 18 years, but anyways, it's like, after 18 years, you do kind of get brutally honest. Maybe if anybody else has been married that long, maybe you can attest to that, throw out some hearts, it does get...
Listen, then in the spring,
and also...
we'll do some... Jeez. Stop it. I was talking.
Okay, sorry.
22 years. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
See?
Well, let me finish.
I'm going to grow herbs. There you go. Then it's just the perfect size for herbs. Okay, so there. Gee whiz.
I'm sorry. What I was going to say is that my father-in-law also has chickens, and so we get fresh eggs, all the time. Anytime we want fresh eggs, we're also doing that, and we don't have to pay for them. And I about died at the price of eggs a couple weeks ago in the store at Walmart. It was like over $2 a dozen. Wow. And they're not even like free range or organic. And my father-in-law's are free range and organic, and they taste so good.
They do taste good
compared to store-bought. And so we do save a lot of money doing those kinds of things with our own food. So like I said, we have a lot of side hustles going on in addition to tracking our expenses. So that's what today's Daily Dime is really about. Again, tracking their expenses.
Oh, tracking expenses.
And taking a look at, the areas that are really high. And like we said, some areas you want to be high because you're trying to get something accomplished.
Yeah.
And other areas you might be like I really still feel like we spend too much on communications, like cell phones. Technology is, I still think, where our family really, really needs to pare down. We have a home phone still because we have this fax machine. So I've been debating about putting the fax machine at my mom's I'm there almost every day in the mornings because my son catches the bus there. And
I didn't think about that.
maybe just taking and using her phone line for the fax machine, then we could get rid of our home phone. But, we were raised on, like, the dial, like, zzz.
Dial and push button phones, were...
Yeah, it's really weird not to have a home phone for us.
Yeah, the phone mounted on the wall. That's what we always had, growing up. But
if you had one of those phones, you need to hit some hearts. Are we like old here? I mean, seriously. I know she was married 22 years. She has to have had a dial-up.
Yeah.
Or like, what do they call that? It's not a dial-up. Rotary phone. Okay, yeah, you have to have had a rotary phone. But anyways, so we've been talking about getting rid of our home phone, like I said, but we're still just on the fence about that. I can't imagine just having a cell phone because, like, my one grandma's hard of hearing. And it's like, how is she going to hear me if I'm on the cell phone? Because I got to shout all the time. I don't know. I'm nervous about that. I
think it'll be okay. Millions of people have been doing it.
Yeah, I know.
For a long time
and I know
now.
they have been. And I know that this is why we're doing this show, because I need accountability and encouragement, because I just don't want to get rid of it. So we're also wanting to get rid of cable. Planning on getting rid of it. We didn't have cable for years and years and years till we had a child. Yeah. And we just wanted it for the cartoons for him and just different,
we were
like,
married
Sesame
how long
Street.
Before
a long time. Probably 10 years or more. Well, maybe not 10. It was more like 7 or 8, and we didn't have any cable.
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we could easily give up cable. That's a no-brainer.
We do like we don't watch it a whole lot, but we do like Netflix, and that's really,
Yeah, and you don't need cable for that.
Yeah, that's a low cost for TV and movies. So
yeah, and my mom, I got her this thing at the Dollar Tree called the.
We got rid of. Oh yeah.
See, she says they got rid of cable and they never regret it. Yeah. That's what we need to do. We need to get rid of cable. Seriously, we'll miss Alaskan Bush people, but maybe we can DVR that. Can't get rid of cable at my mom's. DVR. Well, I'm saying my mom could DVR it.
Oh, okay.
We can't get rid of cable at my mom's because my grandma's 86 and she has back problems and she can't get out of the house very much.
She that's what
she lives does. And dies by her TV. So some people, like, I feel I that would be like all of her entertainment. So obviously some families can't get. It just depends on where your priorities are. So you really have to decide.
There's people that watch news all day long.
Well, yeah, she definitely watches news all day long. She's retired. She can't walk very well. She's got a disability thing. You know what I mean? And she
never heard of a digital antenna. That's awesome.
Yeah, and my mom, I bought her this thing at the Dollar Tree called Rabbit Ears or something, and you plug it. It's a USB. You stick it in your computer, and it works. My mom said it works. It's $1 for the first year. It's technically free because you pay for $1. Other than the $1 that you pay in the dollar store. And I'm sorry. I feel like I'm on a real talk show if I have a mug. It makes me feel special.
We're just talking to ourselves, basically.
No, we're not. We have 6 viewers.
Well, yeah, I know, but all we see is ourselves.
Right, but that's why they're commenting, so that we know that they're with us.
I like your comments, by
the way. We love it when you comment. Please keep commenting. So anyway, like I said, Kate, the bunny ear plug-in thing, like she's talking about. Yeah, and that's what I think we need to do, is do something like that. And get rid of cable altogether. So we're still working on our budget.
We can run Netflix. We run Netflix through our Wii, our Nintendo Wii. She was saying she uses the digital antenna.
Oh, to run her Netflix.
To run the Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, but unless the Wii breaks, then we would need something else.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to get back on track. And then end this.
All right, I know, but we're talking about tracking your expenses, and we're talking about all the expenses that we're trying to track.
Okay, yeah.
The biggest other thing I think too is. I feel guilty about gift giving. I don't want to give up gift giving because I feel like I don't want to get too cheap in that area.
I was going to say, you've always been one that's gone way over, not over budget, but way over extreme, oh my gosh, I got to get this person 10 things, or I'm not worthy.
No, I don't buy them. No, but I usually buy things on sale.
I know. Oh, you always have that,
I have a budget.
She does after Christmas shopping, which...
Yeah, I do Black Friday. I do after Christmas shopping.
Yeah, after Christmas shopping for stuff for next year for the teachers and for the bus drivers and stuff.
I buy for the teachers for the next year, the day after Christmas, and I go in when all the Christmas stuff is 90% off, and I get all my teacher gifts. And I'm a teacher, and so I know what teachers like, and so I'm pretty. I think I'm a pretty good teacher gift buyer.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I'm not complaining. I'm not saying you aren't.
No, I know. But one thing I was so proud of myself today, as far as tracking expenses, I didn't want to have to write. And I've been doing this myself, is tracking our expenses, and I didn't want to have to write it down. But Bath and Body Works has a coupon. And I was going to go out and get I thought about doing some hand soaps, and I was like, no, then I have to track that expense. And so that's what we're talking about, tracking expenses. And I really didn't want to do that and then look back and be like, oh man, I spent that on soap. And, just fill up the bottle with dish soap,
That's what we've been
But Adam had a great idea. He said you could buy it on sale and give it as a gift as we get towards credit. Like I had a $10 off coupon.
Yeah. You've been doing that forever, though.
And
I don't know why. It doesn't sound like it's not a new idea.
But I was going to keep them for us. And then I was like, no, we're not doing that. We don't need that, So that's the whole point of what we're talking about is looking at all these expenses, tracking them, making sure that you don't have, excess in one area and making wise decisions, that kind of thing. We've been trying to
track expenses in detail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We definitely track expenses in detail.
All the time.
We're very good about being budget minded. I mean, keep in mind we had to pay like $100,000 to have our kids, but we need some hearts for that if you don't mind. But anyways,
we put a lot of money
between an adoption, between one adoption and 2 IVF cycles, we have spent a lot of money on having kids, and so that's the only reason that our house really isn't paid off. So our house hopefully will be paid off in a couple years. And thank you for those hearts. That is so sweet. Oh, our big guys from Guatemala. And our little guy is an IVF baby, and then we had 3 that we lost in the middle. So it's all good, but we chose to have kids instead of cars. So now
expensive, big homes and big cars.
Yeah, we live very frugally, and people say all the time, how does your husband stay off in the summer? Well, how's your husband? And I say, because we live so frugally. And that's something that we say all the time is, because...
9 months of the year.
Yeah, I mean, he's a nurse in a school, so he works not a school nurse, he's works for an agency with a client that goes to school. And so that student has nursing needs. But anyways, so, then in the summertime, ever since our son was born 2 years ago, we like for him to be off because we also like to travel, which we'll have to do a whole periscope on frugal travel because we travel for super cheap.
Yeah, we do it. You take your own food. And lots of people do that, but I don't know, our son uses birthday gift money for souvenirs when we go.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely budget for it and make it cheap. You know what I mean? Or we share a condo, or we share a bus ride, or a train. Like the other year, we did a train trip we drove from Pennsylvania to Chicago. We took the train from Chicago to Flagstaff, Arizona. We got a rental car, went up to the Grand Canyon, came back to Flagstaff, took a train overnight to Los Angeles, and then took a rental car for 6 days up the West Coast. And then we took the train from San Francisco all the way back to Chicago, but we actually shared a hotel room with my mom and grandma. My grandma was 84 on the train. She would not fly. So her name's Grandma Toogie, by the way. She got that
Toogie's a nickname, yeah.
We are really off track, but that's what talk show hosts do. They get off track, so we're allowed to do that a little bit. But anyways, pretend I'm like...
We're talk show hosts
I'm
now?
a younger, not as good-looking version of Kathy Lee Gifford. But anyways, but you don't look anything like Hoda Kotb. But long story short, what I wanted to... Are you okay?
Yeah, that's funny.
Need your inhaler? But anyways, so what I wanted to say is, what was I saying?
I don't know. It says it's time for bed.
Oh, okay. Well, like I was saying, we did this cross-country trip, and Grandma wouldn't fly. But yeah, Grandma Toogie, I don't have ADD at all. But Grandma Toogie got her name because her grandfather would call her Sugar, and then she couldn't say it, and then it became Shug, and then it became Tug, and now she's Grandma Toogie. And just so you know, it's Tuggie, not Toogie, so it looks like Tuggy, but she's pretty famous in our parts, and she has a lot of really famous sayings. Like, I don't know, like I was in a business meeting the other week, and I actually used this saying, and I know I probably looked bad, but I was like, well, he's as useless as tits on a warthog. Boar hog. It's boar hog. Tits on a boar hog. But anyways, so I mean, those are one of her famous sayings. She just has a lot of these like little euphemisms. But
she does. She tells a lot of the same stories too.
But she's 86 and she can do that. My Nana's 97. She's a lot worse with retelling the same story. She doesn't even always know who we are. But
yeah, not anymore.
Yeah.
I tell them about was that last summer? When was that?
Last summer. My Nana's 97 and she has like no memory anymore.
Right, Jackson.
It just went and like it just like from 96 to 97 years old. She just has like absolutely no memory now, and so she asked me 30 times what my son's name was, and he is a baby.
But we were up there in the summertime, and she lives in this little apartment in Harrisburg, which is the capital, of Pennsylvania. Anyhow,
it's not an apartment; it's a duplex.
What did I say?
Apartment.
Okay, duplex. Sorry.
But her daughter lives upstairs, and she's like 70.
But listen,
it's
so funny. We were sitting in this apartment, summertime, no AC. And they've got these two old ladies, the mother and the daughter, had sweaters on. They had their sweaters on.
We were so hot.
We were so hot. I had to go outside. It was humid outside. but I had to go outside to get cooled
We
off.
couldn't breathe. We couldn't breathe. And then they we
then-
ate dinner.
And then we had a nice meal, and it was great. But then they asked us afterwards if we wanted coffee. I said, no, I mean, I don't want to melt inside here.
We didn't say it like that to them, but
It's
yeah.
like drinking lava.
We had a couple good laughs
Oh,
over,
it was hilarious.
over Nana with her hot coffee.
Hot coffee, no. Give me a sweater, too, while you're at it. And a hoodie.
Turn the heat up.
I'm so cold.
Anyways, so
Sorry.
the point tonight is hopefully you learned about tracking your expenses, keeping track of them, deciding where you're spending too much, deciding where you're not spending enough. And my girlfriend and I were talking at lunch today, and her house is going to be paid off in 4 years.
Jeez.
So now they only have one child. They haven't had to do any in vitro or anything like that, but I'm really hoping that we can get on track and get ourselves mortgage free here in the next couple years as well. So it's going to take a little maneuvering and some really like frugal living for a couple years, and we probably won't be able to get a new car at all in the next like 15 years.
Fine with me. As
Our
long as-
cars are a 1995 Ford Explorer and a 2000 Honda Odyssey. And so, you know, the one car is already 20 years old.
When
the
the
other
best
one's 15.
car that I had, the best cars.
Oh,
in the
okay. I'm
garage.
sorry. Go ahead. Tell them.
I have a 1990 Yugo.
Yes. We paid $300. If you know what a Yugo is, then you need to put out some hearts.
Yeah.
If you don't, look it up.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're in the top 10 worst cars ever made. Yeah, that's okay because they were so poorly built. But mine it runs great. I put a lot of work into it, a lot of replacement parts. Sits in the garage a lot of times. I don't drive it as much as I should.
He did for a long time, though, to school, and it saved a ton on gas.
Yeah,
You get like 40 miles per gallon. It's like a smart car, only it's not.
it's not. It's not. It's way worse. No, but as big as I am, I fit.
He
Great
looks like Mr. Incredible.
yeah, from the movie.
If you've ever seen The Incredibles, that's what we call him, is Mr. Incredible. But anyways, but there's a lot of Yugo jokes. We need to tell that sometime.
We'll just think of one right now.
You
It's,
go because I can't.
no, it's Woody. You know, they came out with a van, a Yugo van. They called it a Wego.
That's really bad.
Anyhow,
Okay. So, anyways, we need to. We're really gonna go now. So,
Yeah.
like I said, take a couple days, track your expenses, see where they're going, at least for a couple months, and hopefully you guys have a great night. Thank you so much. We think you're awesome too.
Yeah,
we
good night,
Periscope almost every weeknight between 8 and 10 o'clock East Coast time. Give us some hearts, give us some love, share us with your friends. I think you can swipe down and share. Somehow, I think you can swipe down and share our Periscope or something like that. If you know how to share us on Periscope, please do it. So anyways, debtfreespending.com. Give us a shout out. Come over and stop by and comment on the blog if you're a regular Periscoper. Like, comment on one of the blog posts, and just so we can see you on another social media. Follow us on Instagram or something like that.
Yeah,
we'll
really
follow
cool.
you back. Adam follows everybody.
yeah,
back on
I'm in
Instagram.
charge of Instagram. So
Yeah. So, all right, guys, have a good night, and we'll be back for another Periscope tomorrow evening.
bye.
Bye.